Yo, what is good, YouTube? Welcome back to another JC2K video. In today's video, we're going to be ranking the top 10 best value cards in NBA 2K24 MyTEAM right now. So my criteria for value cards, they have to be buyable directly from the player market. So no lock-ins, no grindable cards. These are only players that you can buy directly from the player market for a certain amount of MT. And when I say value, I'm basically basing it on a combination of how much they cost for MT and how good they are at their position and how good of overall cards they are. So those three things pretty much give me my list. It's a matter of opinion, and if you disagree with me, that's totally fine. Feel free to leave a comment and let me know. And also, if you haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Help me push towards the 16,000 subscriber mark on the channel. I upload every single day, tons of daily MyTEAM content. We're less than 500 subscribers away, less than 400 subscribers away, actually. Trying to hit that by the end of December, so I think it's very possible, and really appreciate it if y'all do subscribe. But without further ado, let's hop right into it. Number 10 is going to be a cheap card and a very solid card in PJ Tucker. PJ Tucker's biggest flaw really is that he is very, very limited as a card. He's really only good at a couple things. He's good at defense. He's a versatile, very good defender with almost every single key defensive badge in the game, great defensive stats. And he's also a very good shooter, has a really good release, solid catch and shoot badges, really, really solid there. Outside of that, he's not an elite finisher. He doesn't have great speed. He's certainly not a great shot creator. Doesn't do a ton else outside of catch and shoot and play defense. So there is a lot of value to a card like that, and he is great at it, but he's also only 6'5" at small forward, so a bit undersized. So there are some flaws for sure with this PJ Tucker card, which hold him back and keep him lower on this list. But for 10,000 MT, he is a very, very good card. Jared Vanderbilt at the number 9 spot is a card who would be significantly better if he had 3 badges: brick wall, anchor, and especially clamps. But those 3 badges would be a difference maker on him, in addition to other shooting badges. Playmaking badges like speed booster would be nice as well. Bulldozer, things of that nature would be nice to have. But he's still a very good card, still an elite slasher, a very, very capable shooter with a solid release, great speed, good ball handler, and a versatile defender. He can play make at the 4. He's a really nice, undersized, admittedly 4, but very, very good 4. Still a very good card. 13,000 MT is a very cheap price point as well. Super duper affordable card, but again, he's just not quite top tier at his position. So for me, that keeps you lower on the list. Even if you're cheap, if you're not quite that top tier card, you're going to be lower down. And it's the same thing with Bobby Portis. Honestly, all 3 of these guys are very, very similar. They're all very, very solid budget options at their position, but there are more expensive cards that I still think are better value because of how much better they are at their position. As a whole, Bobby Portis is a great shooter. He's a good interior finisher. The dunking stats aren't as good, but the post stats are really good, and the finishing badges are great. Defensively, he's also very, very solid, even without the anchor badge, but I really wish he had the anchor badge. I wish he was a little quicker as well, but he's got good size. Not insane, but solid. A very good release. He stretches the floor, and he's good on the interior on both ends of the court. Again, a very good card, but again, I just don't think he's quite top tier at his position, which yet again keeps him just a little bit low on my list. And then we got one other tournament battles cheap card on this list, being Derek White. All these guys back to back to back, all of them good budget cards. None of them I don't think quite next level, unfortunately, for their price points right now. Derek White, kind of similar to all the other guys. I do think he is the best of the bunch, probably, which is why, considering all these guys are pretty much about the same price, between 10 and 13K. I mean, I think he's the best of the whole group because he's a very good playmaker. He's got good sigs. He does have pretty good playmaking badges, even with bronze handles for days. He's a good shooter, decent finisher, although he's not a great dunker, but he will dunk wide open. And defensively, he's a very good versatile point guard. I think he's the most well-rounded of all of these guys. He has the least significant flaws, in my opinion. So for me, at least, I think he fits the best at number 7, considering all of them are basically around the same price. But it starts to take up a step up from here with Nick Young at number 6. Admittedly more expensive at 84K MT. He is significantly better than any of these other guys at their position so far. Nick Young gives you more offensive capability at shooting guard than almost anybody in the game. Just an elite offensive card, great slasher, elite release, very good movement as well outside of his front size of escape crab move. He's fast, he's an exceptional slasher, but defensively he is admittedly kind of meh. He's not a great defender. It does hold him back. 84K MT though is a very attainable amount of MT. I mean, that's about 4 hours probably of triple threat offline if you were just straight playing triple threat offline, which is, it's a chunk, but as you play the game, if you are playing towards something, grinding towards a KG or a Hakeem or somebody like that, regardless of what you're playing, you'll get the MT. And 84K MT, I do believe, is a very affordable, reasonable price for a top offensive shooting guard in the entire game, considering how good that Nick Young card is. Luol Deng is at number 5, and I think this Luol Deng is Admittedly, small forward is not the most crucial position. I think you can get away with more budget cards at the small forwards, power forward, and even shooting guard positions. But I do think Luol Deng is the second best small forward in the game. When you're that good at your position, which Luol is, he's incredibly complete, has almost every single key finishing, shooting, playmaking, and defensive badge on the card for a wing, which is really, really nice. Only really missing Agent 3, and then arguably things like Rise Up, Dime, or Rebound Chaser, whatever. You can add Rebound Chaser too if you want. But great speed, good shooter, very, very solid finisher, and an elite level defensive wing with a really good release. I know he's expensive, but we're going to see a couple more diamonds in this list because a guy like this who you don't have to lock in for, who is still a top tier player at his position in the entire game, is really, really good value. The last of the really, really cheap value players on this list is going to be Gerald Wallace, who is only 29,400 MT. I think Gerald Wallace legitimately for 29,400 MT is actually a better quote-unquote value than Luol Deng. Luol Deng costing over 150k MT more, and that is a significant chunk, and while having the better card, which I think Luol is valuable, I actually believe Gerald Wallace is going to give you most of what Luol Deng does. He is also an elite defender, although not with quite as many hoffs. He's also a very, very good slasher, just like he's actually a better slasher than Luol, honestly, with the 95 driving dunk, slightly better finishing badges as well. Speed-wise, they're about the same. Playmaking-wise, they're pretty darn similar as well. The only thing really that Gerald's missing is speed booster, which would be a nice badge to have for sure. But shooting-wise, they're missing some stuff, but honestly, release is pretty similar. Just stats and badges favor Luol, but it's not the most important thing in the world. As a whole, Luol is certainly the better card, but I do believe Gerald Wallace is slightly better value for that 29,400 MT, and I do believe you can put him in the top 4 on this list. Number 3, going to be Ron Artest, in my opinion, the second or third best shooting guard in the game right now, depending on if you're counting Kobe or not, but he's the best buyable one outside of Kobe, I guess, so you can lock in for in, what, a week and a half. But 6'7", 6'10", wingspan, 92 speed, 87 3-ball, 90 driving dunk, elite defender. He has Hoff Anchor. He's the first shooting guard in the game to have Hoff Anchor as a base card this year. He's got really good interior badges in general. He's also got post lockdown, gold rebound chaser, pogo stick. He is really, really nice. He can play make very, very solidly, even has silver speed booster, good shooter, great slasher, Hoff posterizer, money release. Rudy Gay base is one of the best in the game, and his movement is very, very good as well. I know he's expensive, but like I said with Luol Deng, a guy who is a top tier card, his position in the game, and at a very important position as well, considering he could be your number 1 lock and a really good secondary ball handler. Great card, top 3 spot for sure. Cade at number 2 is, in my opinion, right now probably the third best point guard in the game, but the point guard position is probably the most important position in the game. So being able to get a guy who is top 3 at his position for less than 80,000 MT is insane value. Cade at 79,800 MT, 89 speed, 91 3-ball. He's got the shooting badges, including gold limitless range, Hoff blinders, gold agent 3, catch and shoot, dead-eye green machine. Playmaking badges are pretty good as well, even without speed booster. He moves incredibly well, really good sigs. And defensively, he's a big point guard. I know the badges aren't jump off the page amazing, but at least he's got clamps on something. It's better than nothing. The stats aren't too bad, and he does compete a decent bit on the defensive end of the court. Inside-wise, also a very, very good finisher. And I like his release this year. It's better than it's been last year. His movement, tray escape, and I guess his sides up are also very, very good. There's a lot to like about Cade Cunningham in my team. I think his movement is really, really nice, and I think he's an elite level point guard in my team. But the best value card in my team right now comes at the second most important position in my opinion, which is David Robinson. I think D-Rob at center being the best center in the game, almost unarguably, for 183,000 MT is an insane value. He is the best shooting big, well, one of the very best shooting bigs in the entire game, in addition to being a dominant inside bigs on both ends of the court with the Hoff bulldozer, posterizer, post spin, post fade phenom, anchor brick wall, movable enforcer, pose go stick, post lockdown, rebound chaser, even has gold clamps, bronze glove and pick dodger, some playmaking ability with D'Antoni and a ball handle shoe. He can even time inverse. He is the best center in the game, the most complete big man in the game, and you can buy him for 183,000 MT. No lock-in required, no nothing. He should be on pretty much every single team in the game and is 100% worth his price. And as a whole, y'all see, this is why I have some of these more expensive guys at the top, is because they're the best guys in their position in the entire game. Guys like D-Rob, Cade, Ron, and Luol especially. The most expensive cards in this list, but they are truly all top 2 or 3 cards at their position in the entire game at very least. That's going to do it for this video, though. I hope y'all did enjoy. Let me know what y'all think of my list in the comment section down below. If you did enjoy the video, make sure you hit that like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. I'll be back with more 2K content very, very soon, and I appreciate y'all. Peace.